Okay, so we start. We will start with some facts due to Xiting and Uhlmann. Then we go to the challenge, then move on the actual solution. And before we look at the XCW in the system, I will introduce you to some benefits. Start with Xiting. I would like to briefly introduce Xiting, who we are, what we do, and where we are from. Xiting has been around since 2008. We were founded and still headquartered in Switzerland. We have offices throughout Europe, in Germany, in Switzerland, UK, France, Romania, and in the United States since 2016. Xiting specializes in SAP security. We are an SAP Gold partner. We provide services in the form of consulting and helping customers with role designs, S/4HANA migrations, GRC implementations, IDM, SSO, and other SAP security related topics. We are also provide tools as part of our portfolio that are fully certified by SAP. Everything we do is 100% SAP standard. We are also SAP education partners, so we do a lot of SAP training, developing training, holding training sessions for SAP or together with SAP. As of today, we are around 110 employees and we are growing globally. Uhlmann is the world's leading supplier for packaging pharmaceuticals in blisters, bottles, and cartons. Uhlmann has been founded in 1948 and has now over 1,500 employees. The headquarters is in Laupheim in southern Germany. And there are some subsidiaries, for example, in Brazil, China, and in the United States. And now we come to the challenge. How did we come to develop the XCW, Xiting Central Workflows, in the first place? We heard the same issues over and over again from different customers. Role requests are often made manually by call or email or sometimes via ticket system, but every time with a manual work. It's often very difficult for customers to trace the reason for the request, and there are also no regulated retentions of the request. For example, in Germany, it's about 10 years. There are no explicit approval procedures or responsibilities for role assignment, and it's also often difficult for customers to name specific roles. We've often heard something like, I need authorizations like user ABC, or the user must be able to book or something like that. And all this together led us to develop the XCW. In addition, we wanted to make it easier for the help desk and developed a password self-service, which is delivered with the XCW, because the manual resetting of passwords creates unnecessary effort, and we want to reduce that. Now let's move on the presentation of the XCW. XCW is an independent product in the SAP ABAP system landscape and does not require its own servers or similar. XCW is imported into a system defined by the customer via transport request. And for the future, XCW becomes an XMS module. XCW can also serve as a pre-project for the implementation of an SAP IDM or another identity management tool. For example, if due to regulations, a fast solution for the automation of the ABAP system is needed, because the implementation of an XCW takes only a few days. If later then non-SAP systems are to be managed in the second step, SAP IDM or another IDM identity management tool can be used. The benefit is the time savings, as an implementation of SAP IDM takes several weeks or months, or years, it depends on. And for the XCW, it takes only a few days. Now we come to the scenarios, to the implementation scenarios. There are 3 different options. The first one, customer defined and central system landscape. XCW defines here in a system which is defined by the customer, and here all requests must be made in that central system. XCW with CUA, Central User Administration, maybe someone knows that from the SAP ABAP procedures. And here are the requests, or the special thing is that the requests can also be made from the child system. But in both cases, provision is made after the last approval, and provisioning means here that the user is created or changed in the specified systems, or the roles are assigned or revoked. And the last one, the local user administration, XCW runs standalone, and that's perfect for customers to get to know the tool. I've talked many times about XCW, and now I would like to present you what workflows are possible. There are two types of requests. One is the user requests, create new users and make changes to the user. And on the other hand, there are the role requests. Roles are requested and revoked. Additionally, there's a combination of both. For this, the request is split in the background. First, the request is approved by the user owner, the person who is responsible for changes and creations of users. And then in the second step, the requested roles are approved by the role owner, the person or the persons who are responsible for the roles. Substitutes and further approval steps can also be maintained. And now I would like to talk about the password self-service. I'm sure that everybody knows that after some days of vacation, it can be hard to remember to the password, and sometimes we need further assistance, and that generates effort to the help desk. So it will be great if you have a self-service for that. And with XCW, you get that self-service. I will show you that later. Now we come to the benefits. With XCW, you get two user interfaces, the well-known SAP GUI and the SAP Fiori interfaces. With the XAMS graph integration, you have a possibility to directly check role requests for critical authorizations or SODs. And yeah, you can do that check before the roles are approved to the user. It's a separate step in the approval process, and I will show you that later. We have also multi-level escalation processes. This is optional. Multiple levels of approvals can be done after another. And we have the password self-service. It's a web service, and users can reset their passwords and unlock themselves if needed. We have the fast implementation for all scenarios. I have talked about the 3 scenarios, and all of them are set up within a few days. SAP Standard. XCW is completely implemented in SAP Standard. This can be seen, for example, in the SAP workflows, or in the RFC connections. There are some, in that ways, when it's possible, we use the standard processes. Then the dashboards. There are dashboards for all workflows. There you can see where the next approver, what's the status about the request. There you can see as an admin all information in one dashboard. We have the role ownership concept. XCW provides you with a detailed role owner concept, including substitutes regulations. And you receive the standard workflows. You can create user, you can change user, you can do role assignments and role revocations, and you can do it in a combination. You can add users together with role assignments. We have also the segregation of duty point. So the 4th I principle, which is called in Germany, it's maintained and you are audit compliant. We are constantly developing the tool and are currently close to the new release. And here are some examples what will be possible with SP4. Workflows can be started via SOAP interface, so you can use external tools, for example, some ticket systems or something like that. You can define roles without approval, for example, standard roles which every user gets. And you can send reminder emails and much more. So we developing that tool. We get input from customers, and then we can approve something or add new functionalities. Here you can see the new design of our Fiori UIs, but for the Fiori topic, we looked at later in the system. That's a work list where the decisions are made, and that's the new design of the requests. And now I would like to show you something in our system. I have some different use cases prepared, and we start with role requests in Fiori UI, the password self-service, and after that I give up to Mr. Österle, and we get some practical examples. Okay, then we start. I start in the Fiori UI and log in to my Launchpad with my user. So that's our Launchpad. We have more apps than that one, but I would like to show you that 3 apps, and so I prepared that. At first, we start with the role request self-service. I click on it, and what happened now? I see my own user and my currently assigned roles. That are some roles I've requested. I can check that. I can check also the validity and get some information about that. But what's my use case? I would like to add some new roles for my own user. So I have to click on Add. And now I have different options. I can search in a system, in a specified system, which is which is in the administration for the XCW. I can search sorry, I can search for some roles, or I can search for a user, a reference user. And first we start with searching for roles. I search for that one and go. And now I have seen the information to the role name, role title, but there's nothing maintained. I see the type of the role owner as the person who is responsible for that role, and also the full name. Yeah, it's a demo system, so it's the same. And now I can select the role, and now I can add a validity. I can assign the role, for example, for 1 week or something like that. And if I don't want to do that, I click on Add. And now I have the SAP standard validity from today till unlimited. And I have the different sections here, the currently assigned roles, the roles to be assigned, and also when I want to do that, roles to be removed. In the next part, I can add an attachment. It can be more information, maybe from a ticket system or something like that. It's you can add every attachment that you want. And in the last part, you can add a reason for the request. For example, security weeks. And now I click on Send Request, and then some special things for that role happen in the background. Maybe you wondered about the name. The role name was XCW Crit, and that means it's a critical role. So in the role are some transactions which are together, which came together to a conflict. And when I click on Send Request, what happened in the background? The approval does not came directly to the role owner. And in the first step, the risk manager, that's the person which we defined in the customizing, are responsible to approve or decline the request. I was the requester, and I was also a risk manager. So I was removed from that. So that's the information. And I close that. And now I would like to show you the information in the dashboard. So I go to SAP, and that's the menu for the admins. So there are so much information about the dashboards, all the requests, but also other information about the installation, additional tools, and so on. That should not be a topic for today. And now I have some information. So I click on the role assignment dashboard, and maybe I filter today, and there should be one, one dashboard, one request. Normally, the role will come to the risk manager because there is a risk. But I was a risk manager. I request the role, so nothing happens, and the we can go in, and the approver, we can see that here is the XCW admin user. Now I would like to show you the approval of the workflow. So I log on with that user. The right one, that one. I have to log on. XCW, password, and change the client. And now I see, yeah, it looks very similar, but I have one more item in the work list. So I open that, and here I see the information about the workflow. I see the requester, details of the requester. I see information about the time when we start the workflow, and I see also the reason for that. In the part assign role, I see some information about the role which was requested. I see the same information like the requester, and I have now, yeah, some options. When we gave an attachment, I would like to see it here, and we can add also a comment for the requester. For example, we approve that. That's okay. And now I can approve all, approve selected, because maybe we can request more than one role in a workflow, and we can reject all, we can approve selected, or we can approve all. Approve all. Then I got an information. Do you really want? Yes, confirm. And now what happened in the background? The user, the role will be, the provisioning will started, and the provisioning will starting, and the user get the role in the system. Okay. Now I would like to show you another use case, a role assignment request for another user. So I go back to my Launchpad, and now I would like to add roles for another user. So I choose that app, and first I have to search for the system. I would like to search in that system, and now I have to search for the user. And our test user is that person. So we get here the information about the user. This user has currently assigned, null, no roles, and we would like to add some roles for this person. I choose the button add, and now I can, I have the same options. I can search for a role, or I can search for a reference user, and we do that. XCW is 18. That's our reference user, and go. And then I see the roles which are assigned to that user. And for example, I can choose that one, select. Same here, I can add a validity. And now I see the information about the requested role in that section. I can also add some attachments. I can also add some comments, for example, security 2, for example, and now I can send the request. it's a role without something critical, and the information, show that, because there are no information about any risk manager topic or something like that. There are only the information the role owner, the workflow has starting for the role owner, and the workflow is available. So we check that in our dashboard. Now we have to refresh, and now we see there was our approved request, and here's our current workflow. We have here also the possibility to check the details about the workflow. So I can click on the glasses, and there I see the information. It's for that user, that role with that validity in that system. I can see the role owner. I have all information in one view. So we would like to check that role, that workflow. I go back now, and now I see there are 2 items. I get here the information. That's our demo system. There are some works on that, so I see the information. Same information here. I see the user, I see the information about the request, I see the comment, and I see the assign role. So now I have the same possibilities. I can approve selected, or I can reject. For example, I would like to reject that. Then I got also an information about that. Do you really want to do that? Yes, confirm. And when we check now our user, our workflow in the dashboard, we see the right one here. It was rejected by approver. And in the detailed, in the request details, we see the information. Okay, and that's what I like to show you about the workflows, about the Fiori interface and the risk manager functionality. And now I would like to show you the password self-service, because the password self-service is a very small tool, but it helps so much, and I would like to show you that. The password self-service is a typical web service, and so I start with that. The password self-service is a web service, and the authentication can be done in 2 different ways. In the one way, the user get access via SSO, for example, SAP logon ticket or something like that. And the other way, we provide a token-based authentication, and we are looking that together. For this, we need to enter the username and the email address from ELSO01. So I get that user, and with his mail address. And if I do something wrong here, or the mail address is not does not exist in the SO01 or something like that, then I got a message about that. I will show you that. That's the wrong one, so I got the information combination not found. If I choose the right one and click on send token, then a token is sent to my email address. It's a demo system, so we have no email server here. So I have to go to SAP transaction as a T. Yes. And there I see the information. I can see the mail. The mails can be maintained by you. It's not a problem. You get here some examples, but you can change that. That's not a problem. And for us, it's we need the generate token for the authentication. So I copy that, go back, and log on with my token. Submit. And now I see the functionalities for in the password reset. There are not so much functionalities, but yeah, it helps the customers so much. So we have our user, and our user exists in 3 different systems. And in every system, the status is different. In the first one, user is unlocked and has an initial password. In the second system, user is locked due to many failed logons. That's the most happening use case, because user try to log on and they do it sometimes, and yeah, after 3 times the user, or another number, the user is locked. So what should happen if the person clicked on reset password? The user should also be unlocked, and that works. So if you would like to reset your password in that system, you click on reset password, and then you get a generated password via email. And also your user will be unlocked. You can also add a self-defined password, but that's also a self-defined initial password. So yeah, you can decide what you want here. And now we have another use case. The user has an admin log. So that means some admin go to SO01 and push the button log user. And yeah, that's a security topic, because with a self-service, a user should not be able to unlock his own user when an administrator locked the user. So if you try to do that with a system where your user is logged by an admin, and you click on that, got an information, user locked by administrator, and it does not work. So we try that system, and I click on reset password because I want to show you the information in the with the generated password. I click on reset, then I got the information. The email will be sent to the xtw at xiting.com, and got some information here. And now when I go to SOST and refresh, I got an email with my logon data, and I got the information here for the user and the password. The password will be created automatically due to the regulations in the SAP system. And yeah, now it's possible for the user to log on and do the work, and should not be called an administrator or a help desk or some other person. The person can be done in that way with a self-service. Okay, and that was a short overview about the XDW, the password self-service. And yeah, now I would like to give up to Mr. Österle for some practical examples. Helmut, I think you are muted. Helmut? Helmut? You are muted.
I think that's a problem, yes.
I'm not sure if he... Helmut, we can see your screen, but we can't hear you. I'm muted by organization.
Yeah, it's not possible to unmute him. Let me check quickly.
Now it worked. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
And we see your screen. Everything is fine.
Okay. So, so my name is Helmut Österle. I'm the user manager of Uhlmann Pac-Systems. Yes. And I have the XCW since 1.5 years in use, and I'm very, very confident with it because it's a central tool for me now, and I do everything a user manager has to do with the XCW application. So the exciting people trying to hide something very, very good. So I start my day with a cup of coffee, and I, first of all, when I start my work, I do go here to additional tools. And here you have an issue that says user data system comparison. So you see, I use the standard SAP GUI because we have a very different landscape. And the first thing I do every day is do this. So, okay, just so I look here at the logon data, only for my own user. So, and you see, I have 21 SAP installations. So this step is the first check for me. If I see this, I see every system added to the XCW is working, is live online. Yes, so that's my first thing, because if there is a system not working, I won't reach it about with RFC or something like this. So this is my first step. Just check, are all my 21 systems alive? And in this user data system comparison, I always see when was the last log on and something like this. All fine. So that's my first step every day, because then I see how are my systems. We have here in we have a own defined landscape, and here you see the systems which are connected with one central system. So it's very, very easy to let's say to add systems to this, because we only need an technical user and an RFC connection, and you can connect every system. So it's very easy to change or add some systems to the landscape. So, okay. The first, let's say, one of the most used issues I use is the role assignment request. So I show you, we have a ticket system like this. Here it says, okay, this is just now a manual step, but we hope with the service pack 4, yes, we can automate this. But see, I'm in one system, in one system, I got here the username. So, okay. So, and you see, I have this user in 5 systems. Yes. So, okay. Now you see me. Oh, okay. That's not a benefit. So, I see the user, in which system the user is available. So I can here check this, say confirm. So in the ticket, they told me the role. They told me the role. So I see, check. And now you see, here is the username, the role, the receiving system, valid from. This I may change myself. And this is also a benefit. You say role status, role is already assigned, but with other timestamps. So we do this for this demonstration. So okay, so I take the ticket number, enter your reason here. It's for the documentation. So and I say send request. So I get the message, starting workflow for role owner. I'm role owner as well. Continue. So this is now that the work item is sent, and I see it in 2 ways. I see it here in my I see it here in my inbox, my portal inbox. So here I see it in the standard inbox from SAP. Yeah, okay. So in my workplace office, so inbox, I see here. Okay, so I have here the item. He says, okay, this, so I can here approve, I can here auswählen, choose what I want to approve, or I can say approve all. But first of all, I must here put here a comment. I say, for example, checked, approve all. Yes. So now I approve this. And in my Outlook, I have here the whole, I can hear the whole process. The first was here, role assignment is waiting for your decision, was approved, yes. And then request was finished. So I have all documentation I need for Prüfer, for the compliance officer or something like this. So I have documented every step in my Outlook. So what I always also have, or what I always often use, is if you have like me, more than 20 systems. So you often have differences. And here I use the user change request. I take a username. See, if you type slowly, you will find the user. You say here, and I can I can choose all. And now I see my colleague, yes, has in all this system has, the same data, but sometimes it's different. And here I can change the data and send it away as a work item. What we use is we have here, these fields are all fields that you have in the user in the SU01. We have chosen the user log item, so we can say log user, unlog user, no action. Let's say unlog user. So, and with this button, we can also reset password. Valerie has shown us the more smarter way, but we at Uhlmann, we decided to use this way because our systems are very different, and this works in every system we have in use. So I just won't send this away because I won't give my colleague a new password. So you can see you have here I have for one user the possibility to change all, or to have a look at all the data and change it. That's what we use very often. And for the password reset, we also get a ticket. We put it when I say unlock user reset password, then he gets a mail with the new password. Okay, I just stop this. And the user creation and role assignment, that's for completely new users. So this we don't use this not very often because the users are initially provided by HR with us. So, and one feature is you get a ticket with, let's say, 10 or 20 requests, especially for role assignments. So I myself do something like this. If I have more information to be provided, I'll go. I prepare it in Excel, and it works. It works. Here it says the user does not exist in this, but you see you can transfer data from Excel or something like this. If you have more data, it's more comfortable if you click every line here in the tool. So, okay, the dashboards Valerie has already shown us, and you see here our our dashboard. So in general, let's see, we use it very, very often. And what also is a benefit we see in the SU, let's see, okay, those in the change document for users, we can we have a control, because everything that has a correct workflow says changed by RFC Xiting. So if somebody works around a site, so in the change document comes someone else. So this is a control we do for the compliance, because for every user changed by RFC Xiting, there must be a ticket. So that's our control. As I said, we use the standard GUI. I have one system, our central system, and can provide with 20 other systems without logging on to them. That's the greatest benefit. And we are very pleased with it. The installation was with Valerie Neunheuser. It was very good. We have a very good support and exciting. Let's say if I have any problem, I get very, very quick reactions, and until now I always got competent and quick help. So I think, yeah, okay. So that's in brief what I wanted to say to you. Valerie, do you have any other thing that you want me to show?
No, that's perfect. Thank you, Helmut.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good overview about your usage for the tool, and yeah, I think we have learned so many special things. For example, that one with the change documents. Yeah, that's a good idea. I never think about that, but that's really a good idea.
Yes, if you have a compliance department that wants to know who changes users, so say no. If it's RFC Xiting, then it's a workflow. So and I can find this workflow in my inbox in Outlook. They ask me who changed this guy. Yes, I look RFC Xiting, and then it must in my inbox.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
So thank you, Helmut, for showing us in your system the workflows and the other information. Yeah, we have some questions, and I would like to answer some of them. First question, can a workflow be configured to handle creation, automate approval for role change requests? XCW is for requesting users and roles, and yeah, it's unfortunately not a tool for changing the roles themselves. But our other tool, XAMS, can do that. So yeah, I think Shelly or someone else will send you some information about the XAMS, and then you can do that with that tool. Other question, how long does it take to implement XCW? Yeah, it takes 2 to 4 days. It depends on the complexity of the landscape, but in some cases we do it in a half day. So it's a really, really smart and short implementation time. Yeah, with Mr. Österle, we think 1 day, and then
one day. If you're prepared, if you have all the information, and if you have all the RFC connections and the users in the subsystem, then it's one day.
Yes, that's true. Okay, last question, which I would like to answer. Who should be the risk manager? That's an interesting question. The risk manager should be a person or more than one person in the company who has a deep knowledge about of the roles and the risks, because yeah, the detailed knowledge is required. You have to decide about risks, and you have to improve your roles, and you have to stand up for that decision. So it should be a person in the company with who has a deep knowledge of roles and risks. Okay, now I think maybe Shelley would like to yes, Helmut.
Be careful with the risk managers or something like this in daily work. You know, if you have some person who must make a decision and commit, yes, it's always you have to ensure that the person that confirms the risk, yes, is already is on let's say on the system and can decide very quickly, because otherwise you have some time difference, yes, and this, if you got a ticket system, yes, and all is done in the workflow, and the one who must decide is not available, they come to you, yes. So we have a second instance, an override risk manager. That's me then, yes, because if the risk manager from the compliance department is on holiday, yes, no one wants to wait for a role for 5 days or something like that.
That's true. So it should be always more than one person.
Always more than one person, just from the daily work.
Yes.
Right. Good suggestion. All right, Valerie, can you put up the screen again with the rest of the sessions?
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to thank Valerie and Helmut. Remember that we do have 4 more sessions through March 16th. And again, the link for the registration is in the chat, the handout section, I believe it is. And again, you will also receive an email. It'll be tomorrow about this time. So it comes out 24 hours after the session has ended, and you'll get a link with the recording. If you don't get an email after this time tomorrow, let me know, or marketing, and we will get something out to you as quick as possible. So you can email marketing@xiting.com or sjames@xiting.com. Let us know and we'll send it out again. Thank you guys so much for a great session, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Shelley.